So it's that time again. It's time to find out who we are going to be managing in Tuna versus. This is team number 7 now. We are currently 4-2 up after winning last time out, which was Leicester. Brendan Rodgers. We beat him after winning the Carabao Cup and the Europa Conference League. So let's just go and find out which one of these 14 remaining teams we are going to be managing next. We are going to be managing newly promoted side Fulham. Okay, that's going to be interesting. We struggled with Bournemouth, but Fulham, yeah, we'll see how this goes, shall we? Let's go and take a look at the team. So we are, of course, replacing Marco Silva here at Fulham. Craven Cottage, you can see up above me a little snapshot of them in the 19,286-seater stadium. They've won not many trophies, to be fair, in their history. 3 times Championship winners, 1-time League One winner, 2 times Evo-Stick Southern Premier League winner back in 1906, 1907, and the Football League 3rd Division winner as well, but that is it. Fierce rivals with QPR, Chelsea and Brentford, 2 of which, of course, will be playing this season. Tom Kearney is the captain, Tim Ring the vice-captain, João Polinia is the key player, and Harvey Arajo is the hot prospect here at the club. And yeah, this is going to be interesting. I think we've only been given £2 million to spend to keep us in the Premier League, where the board wants to fight bravely against relegation. 5th round of the FA Cup, 4th round of the EFL Cup. Season preview has us down in 19th place. So we are going to struggle, I think, this season. I mean, it's a decent sized squad. Steven Session is out on loan at the moment, but 23 people otherwise. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Obviously, they've had a decent return to the Premier League, so we'll see what we can do. I'm going to go play this first transfer window, as always. Short, sweet intro this time around, and yeah, see what we can do. So our first transfer window has been done in charge of Fulham, and not much in the way of business, as you can probably expect, with the lack of money, really. First of all, outgoings, no permanent outgoings, just a whole host of loanees. Oliver Sanson going to Bognor Regis, Jay Williams to Salisbury, Matt Dibley-Diaz and Georgios Okas both to Hednesford, Jake Stansfield to Leyton Orient, Sylvester Jasper to Bradford City, Terry Ablade, to AFC Wimbledon, Rodrigo Muniz to Blackburn, and Therese Francois even to Shrewsbury. I can't talk today, apparently. Yeah, so no permanent outgoing, so no money incoming that way, and the only incoming that we've actually made was Gary Cahill on a free transfer. We looked at Ben Mee, but he chose to go to Brighton over us. So we've gone in for what was my second choice in Gary Cahill. I wanted a free transfer, a leader to really help us be solid at the back, hopefully. And he's still a very, very good player at 35 years old. Tactic-wise, we're going with this. We're going for 4-2-1-2-1. I suppose you could say, with 2 holding midfielders. One of them is in as a playmaker, though, just to try and help be as solid as possible, hopefully. You can see we've got a cautious mentality, not much in the way of instructions either at the moment. And let's take a look at how things have gone so far. Not great. Okay, to be fair, it's been a relatively tough start. We lost 3-0 to Liverpool on the opening day. Van Dijk, Diaz and Henderson all scoring. Before a 3-0 defeat to West Ham. Souček, Vlasic and Vecino all scoring. This one, though, is incredibly disappointing. Andreas Pereira sent off in a penalty shootout defeat to Portsmouth. Decordova-Reid missing the penalty for us. Before a 1-0 defeat to Manchester United in the Premier League. Marcus Rashford scoring the only goal. We're not bottom. We are not bottom. Crystal Palace are, after losing, 2-0 to City, 3-0 to Brentford, and 7-0 to Liverpool. Ouch. That's a heavy defeat. We're not bottom. So, yeah, I suppose positives. It is going to be a tough season for us. I just want to survive. That's it. I don't care about the cup competitions. I just want to survive. That is the only aim for this season. Let's go simulate the season and see how it goes. So our first season is finished. Let's take a look how things have gone on. Wow. Not only have we been relegated, it's the worst ever point tally in the Premier League. 8 points, 1 win all season. We beat Tottenham. Tottenham, by the way, finishing 17th. Wow, okay. What a season that is for Tottenham. 5 points, 2 draws against Palace, 1 against Everton, Leeds and Southampton, 32 defeats. That is not a good season, is it? 11 goals scored, 80 conceded, 11 goals scored. I knew it was going to be a tough season. Was not expecting things to be that bad, to be perfectly honest with you. Mitrovic scored 5 of our 11. 6, well, a few other players getting 1 goal each as well. Wilson, Pereira, Dicadova, Reed, and Shabala all getting 2 assists each. Well then, 35.5 million to spend in the Championship. We are way overspending on our wage budget, but yeah, I don't really know what more to say about that. It's such a poor season. I didn't expect much this year, but my word, that is shocking, quite frankly. um, yeah, obviously we knew about the EFL Cup. FA Cup, drew 0 with West Brom, beating them 1-0 in the replay. Cabano scoring there before losing 1-0 to Chelsea in the 4th round. And yeah, I mean, it's a lot of red circles, isn't it? Well, yeah, I don't really have much more to say apart from that. It's a terrible season, and we're going to have to do everything we can to make sure we're back in the Premier League come the end of next season. Let's go and do this second transfer window, and hopefully we can improve this squad. We can't make it much worse, can we? So our second transfer window has been done. We are down in the Championship, of course, but we have plenty of money to spend. A bit of it we have done. Let's talk about the outgoings first of all. Most expensive outgoing was Josh Onoma going to Colne for £4.2 million. Tom Kearney and Terence Congolo also left the club. Less than 100k each for them, and then a few players going out on loan you can see there as well. Incoming wise, this is all that really matters. First of all, Rob Atkinson has joined us for £2.1 million from Bristol City. He's gone back out on loan to Bristol City again this season. 6'4", 24-year-old centre back. We have invested heavily in our defence this time around. Hopefully he can go and have a good season for Bristol City and come back to us and see what we're working with. Next up on loan from Aston Villa, of course, he's just moved to Chelsea in real life. Carney Chukwuemeka, I think is how you pronounce his name. We bagged him on loan for the coming season. He has a lot of potential. I'm sort of hoping we can get him here, develop a little bit, and potentially end up signing him on a permanent. But I think he's going to be a very, very good squad option for us this season. Ronaldo Vieira next up from Sampdoria for £1.4 million. Again, he can play that holding midfielder role. He can play centre mid. A bit more squad depth as well and room to grow. A very, very good player there as well. Grady Diangana from West Brom, £3.8 million. Can play on either wing. We've tweaked the tactic a bit for this season because obviously we're down in the Championship. We're expected to be favourites for most games, so we brought him in as well. He's going to add some quality to the wings, which, in my opinion, was the weakest position going into the season. So he's going to add a bit of quality there. Hamza Chowdhury from Leicester, £5.5 million, our most expensive signing to this point. Again, just adds a bit of squad depth, some real quality as well to the team. Very, very good player and a pretty good price as well for him. £3.1 million for Callum O'Hare from Coventry. Again, he can play anywhere sort of across that front line. This one was more squad depth. Joining us, he's done decent for Coventry to be fair, so hopefully he can do the business for us here. Kiernan Davis from Aston Villa, just under £1 million. He is a pretty good striker, in my opinion. 3 goals in 72 appearances for Aston Villa, but I think he can do a job for us. You can see he's in as a fringe player. He isn't going to play too much, but I think he's a good backup if needs to be, and for less than £1 million, I'm happy with that. Then our most expensive signing, a new club captain as well, Liam Cooper from Leeds, £8 million. He's a real leader at the back, a real solid centre back as well. A player that I admire an awful lot. Played for our local club, Chesterfield. Before he was an incredible player there. He's gone on to do fantastic things for Leeds. Hopefully, he can help lead this club back to the Premier League. And our final sign that we made this summer was Naif Ergard from West Ham, £350,000. 26-year-old Moroccan, again another centre back. This one was just a bit of squad depth as well for us. So tactically, we are going to a gegenpress style now. I've had a lot of instructions in, but this is one that I've used quite often in other saves, so we've imported this one for this season, and things are going pretty well so far. We beat Preston 3-1 on the opening day, 2 from Mitrovic, 1 from Wilson in that game for a final victory over Charlton. 2 from Carbono, 1 from Polinia, 1 from Mitrovic and 1 from Harry Wilson. Before a 0-0 with Nottingham Forest, who of course came down with us, and 2-0 over Stoke. Polinia and a Mitrovic penalty this time, before 5-0 again in the second round of the EFL Cup, this time over Ipswich. Hat-trick from Mitrovic, 1 from Polinia and 1 from Bobby De Cordova-Reid, which means after 5 games this season, we've scored more goals than we did in the entirety of last season. So, yeah, positives. Back-to-back 2-1 victories over Blackpool and Crystal Palace. Pereira scoring in the first one with a penalty, Callum O'Hare sealing the victory. And then a penalty in the second one for Mitrovic and Grady Diangana sealing the win there as well. 2-0 over Coventry, both from Andreas Pereira, and then a 0-0 over Sheffield Wednesday. Sees us top of the Championship. Yeah, I mean, promotion by winning the league for me is our aim. It's the only real thing that I'll accept. Let's just quickly go and find out how it's going to go, shall we? So our second season's finished. Let's find out if we've made it back to the Premier League, shall we? And well, we have indeed. Champions, 100 points, as you probably would have expected, really. We've got a cracking team here. Far too good for the Championship. Bristol City coming up with us as well. And either West Brom or Nottingham Forest. Only 6 defeats this time around. So, yeah, that's decent. Carabao Cup, we did pretty well in this. First round, obviously beat Charlton 5-0. The second round, we beat Ipswich 5-0. The third round, we beat Stoke 3-0. Fourth round, we beat Nottingham Forest 3-2, and then the quarterfinals we lost to Brighton 4-1. No real shame in that, to be fair. So, yeah, I mean, you're pretty happy with that. Man City ended up winning it, and the FA Cup was the third round, but we did get drawn against Wolves. Man City winning that as well. We ended up losing 1-0 to Wolves there. So, yeah, back in the Premier League for next season. Liverpool defending champions. Tottenham definitely bounced back after the season that they had, but we need a massive improvement into next season compared to what we had last season. Here in the Championship, Mitrovic does what he does best in the Championship, scoring goals, 28 of them. João Palhinha, Andres Pereira, Harry Wilson and Grady Diangana all in double figures as well. Callum O'Hare getting 9 from 18 starts, 23 sub-appearances, and a good chunk of players all scoring as well. Assist-wise, Andres Pereira was top with 18. Kenny Tete and Harry Wilson both nabbing 11 each. In terms of budget for next season, only £38 million. We had more money to spend in the Championship than we do in the Premiership, but we'll see what we can do with it. Not too much to talk about this season because we expected to, romp the league, and we did really, losing to Middlesbrough, Stoke, Coventry, Crystal Palace, Luton and Bristol City. Crystal Palace finished 7th place as well, so they missed out on the playoffs. That is pretty huge, missed out on goal difference. So, yeah, I'm going to go play this pre-season. We'll come back for the start of season number 3. So our second transfer window has been done. Third transfer window. This is the third season. Second one in the Premier League, though. That's what I meant, honestly. And not much to talk about, really. A couple of outgoings. Tyrese Francois went to Monza for £250,000. He was going to be leaving on a free at the end of the year, so we've sold him on. And Tosin Adarabioyo did not want to sell him, but his release clause was met. My fault for not negotiating and making it higher, but 14.75 million. Tottenham have got a deal and a half there. Incoming though, Nicolo Fagoli from Norwich, £21 million. His release clause was there, so we have triggered it, adds a bit of quality to the midfield as well. And Conrad Larimer from Crystal Palace, £9.25 million. Again, central midfielder, but his versatility is huge for us as well. £11 million it could potentially go up to. So that is all we've done, and we're actually keeping the tactic the same as last season as well, from the Championship. Trying to be defensive obviously did not work last time we was here, so let's try this instead. And so far we played 3 games, and again, pretty poor start to the season. 3-1 defeats to both West Brom and Manchester United. Pereira scoring against West Brom, Figoli scoring against Manchester United. 2 from Daryl Dike, 1 from John Swift for West Brom, and 2 from Isaac, 1 from Varane for Manchester United. But we did beat Brighton in the EFL Cup second round, an own goal, and 2 from Mitrovic puts us through to the third round where we play West Brom, and our next game is Brighton. So we're seeing a lot of Brighton and West Brom early days, but we are currently 18th in the Premier League. Tottenham, again, having a very poor start to the season. They played Liverpool and Leeds. Same results as us, both of them 3-1 defeats. But yeah, it's going to be a tough season if we don't start picking up points. And quickly, the predicted to be in 18th, which would still see us relegated. I just want to stay up. Again, they just want to fight bravely against relegation. Trying to stay up is all that really matters. Let's go and sim this season and see how it goes. So, the end of season number 3, let's take a look how things have gone, shall we? And, wow, okay, 12th place. 47 points, a good chunk clear of the drop zone. West Brom, Watford and Bristol City all going down, just 2 points behind Tottenham, who seem to struggle every time that we're in the Premier League actually, but it's a very good season really. 17 defeats, 8 draws, but 13 wins is nice, including wins over Chelsea and Arsenal in there as well. Third round of the FA Cup to Derby, 4th round defeat in the Carabao Cup to Manchester United. We beat West Brom on penalties. Lost 2-0 to Chelsea and Arsenal at the start of the season. There we go. The defeat to Manchester United. Everton put them ahead. Mitrovic equalised and Rashford scored the winner, all in the space of 7 minutes. Tough run of form there, though. 5-3 defeat to Everton in there. But this is nice. This is very nice. 2-1 over Arsenal. 2-0 Everton. Draw with Manchester United. And then a thrashing of West Brom, and a Chelsea victory coming in January as well. So yeah, a pretty nice season there. Stats wise, top goal scorer was Mitrovic with 11. This time a huge step up compared to the season we were last in the Premier League, where we scored 11 league goals in total. 9 from Harry Wilson, 7 for Dean Garner. So yeah, it's not too bad, is it? 11 assists for Andres Pereira. And we have been given £46 million to spend going into next season. I'm pretty happy with what this team has done this season. So now it's just a case of adding onto that building block and see if we can get top half next season. Let's go spend that money and see what we can do. So we're at the beginning and the start of our 4th season. The beginning of the start, that is a sentence in English that I just said. Regardless, that's where we are. We've done our 4th transfer window now, and let's just take you through the signings. So Oliver Sanderson's gone to Bournemouth for 2 million, potentially rising to 2.8, and then Jack Ellis, Cabono, Roderick, Atkinson have all gone for cheap. Fossey, Tanton, Reed, Sessegnon, Davis, Okakas all going for free transfers as well. I'm a little bit gutted about a couple of them. Harrison Reed, I still think, had plenty to give to us, as did Stephen Sessing, for example. I thought they were going to be very, very good squad players, but they weren't willing to extend their contracts. We'd had the meeting, where it comes up and said they're considering leaving on a free transfer. So we just got rid of them. We don't want them here unhappy for a season on the wage bill, really. So we'll let them go, even on a free. I don't mind too much. I'd rather have got some money, but yeah, we're saving plenty on the wages there. A whole host of players you can see they're going out on loan as well. Incomings wise, we've had 4 incomings. First of all, Brian Gill from Tottenham, £31.5 million, potentially rising to 35 million. Gives us a little bit more depth in the squad on that left hand side. Can play left back if we need him as well, which is crucial. But all across that front line as well, behind the striker, crucially so versatile for us. Then next, Carney Chukwuemeka, we've made permanent after his loan last season. Sorry, a couple of seasons ago. We didn't have him last season. He went to Sturm Graz last season. But we've actually brought him in on permanent this time. So, yeah, I think he's a very, very good young player for £13.5 million as well. I think that's a steal. Jenny Zakanan from Getafe, £8.25 million, anywhere across that back line. Mainly a right back, can play centre back if we need him to. He comes in as our best right back, and he's a very, very good right back as well. He's not spectacular in anything, but he's pretty much solid in everything that we need him to be in. So I'm very, very happy for him, even if he is 32 years old now. He's just going to be a little bit more quality for us. And then finally, Matteo Lovato from Salernitana for £6.5 million has joined us. He's a centre-back, but he hasn't got a work permit at the moment, so he's gone out on loan to Getafe for the season. Hopefully we can get a work permit before this challenge ends. We changed tactics as well. We've gone to our goals formation. We had a very good season last season. I've decided we're going to build on that, go a bit more attacking, see if we can take that next step, really. So this is what we've switched to, which has worked so well for me in many, many saves. And it has been working so far. We drew 1-1 with Blackburn on the opening day. Mitrovic put us ahead in the second minute. And then Shane Lavery in the 91st minute with the equaliser. Bit annoyed to not get a victory out of this, but it's a point. We then beat Leicester 3-2. What a game this was. Castagna put them 1-0 ahead, and we ended up 3-1 up. Pereira, a Sionchu own goal, and Mitrovic also going before Richarlison in the 81st minute, pulling one back. But we hold on, and then another 3-2 victory over Watford this time. Rodrigo Muniz put us 1-0 up. Naif Agood put us 2-0 up. Manaj and Quina, 2 goals in 3 minutes, puts them level, and then a Robert Scov penalty in the 58th minute. It puts us through to the third round. We'll be playing Stoke, and then our final league game so far, we beat West Ham 1-0. Grady Dean Garner with a goal in the 2nd minute, the only goal of the game, which currently puts us up in 5th place. You can see Tottenham having a poor season again. Liverpool struggling at the start of this season, defeats to Southampton and Man City. They beat Derby. But we're also ahead of teams like Arsenal as well. So, yeah, it's been a very, very good start to the season for us. Hopefully we can sort of continue and build on this. Top half is what I want this season. The season preview has us in 18th place, so they're expecting to go down. The board are just wanting us to avoid relegation. So, yeah, but I want top half. That is my aim this season. Let's see if we get it. So our 4th season has come to an end. Let's take a look at how things have gone, shall we? Wow. Okay, I wanted top half. We got top half. 8th place in the Premier League. 55 points. A whole 11 points behind Wolves in that last European place. But 8th place is absolutely incredible. West Ham going down along with Derby and Blackburn. 3rd round defeat in the FA Cup to Chelsea. 4th round in Carabao Cup to Man City. You'd expect that sort of results. Manchester United winning the league. 8th place is absolutely superb for us. For 17 defeats but 17 victories, we got rid of the draws, and we managed to pick up more points that way. A whole 6 points ahead of Newcastle, Tottenham, Leicester and Brentford as well. So if we just take a look at the schedule before we look at the players, a heavy 7-1 defeat to Liverpool there, but we beat Tottenham and Manchester City in back-to-back games. We beat Chelsea early in the season as well. But we had this sort of run which probably prevented European football for us, and then this end of the season as well. 1 point from 6 games is a bit rough. Yeah, that probably also cost us European places. We've had some heavy defeats in there, but we've had some heavy wins as well. Appearance-wise, 42 each for Gazzaniga and Dakonam. Goals-wise, 20 for Mitrovic. We always knew he could do it in the Premier League, as he started to show in real life as well. Robert Scott with 8, Brian Gill with 7, and a few plays on 6 as well. Double figures for Pereira with assists also is quite nice to see. 3 players above 7 average rating is very good as well. And for next season, we've got just short of 50 million to spend going into our final year. Can we make Europe? Can we maybe win a trophy? Let's go to this transfer window and find out. A much quieter transfer window this time around. One permanent outgoing was Ben Pugh going to Cardiff. £85,000 rising to £255,000. He had no real future at the club. A few players gone out on loan as well. And just 3 incomings. First of all, Paulinho from Pachuca. 12.25 million, potentially rising to 13 million. Mainly on that right hand side, but can play across the line or up top if we need him to. He's a very, very good player for us, and I think he's going to do a fantastic job for us this season. Anthony Elanga Jones is on loan as well. Plays on that left side or up top. The wings were decent, but I thought we could have done more. Hopefully Elanga can come in, grow, and do the job for us here as well. And you know, we're not paying anything towards his loan. I think we're paying 50% of his wages, so I don't mind that at all. And then finally, £12 million from Real Zaragoza. Alejandro Frances joins us. Mainly right back, can play centre back or left back if needs be. Comes in as real quality at the right hand side. Of course, we put in Dakonam last season. 33 years old now, so Frances brings in a bit of quality. We stuck with the same tactic as well. We drew 1-1 with Watford on the opening day. Alanga's going to equalise it after Baptiste put them ahead. Then Arsenal came and we beat them 1-0. Dakonam scoring on a goal in this game. We did lose though, 4-3 to Watford in the EFL Cup second round. Simic with a hat-trick. Torre scoring 1 for them as well. We were 2-0 up at one point. Then they brought it back to 2-2, and then we were 3-2 up. Chuck and Wanker scoring the other goal for us there. Before beating Newcastle 2-1 in the league, a good, and Harry Wilson with a 93rd minute winner leaves us in 5th place in the league. A pretty decent start to the season. Predicted to be 19th according to the media, and the board just wants to avoid relegation. I want European football this season. That is the aim this season. Let's go see if we can get it. Final season is done. Let's take a look how things have gone, shall we? We've dropped down in the table. 46 points, finishing in 13th place. 4th round defeat to Tottenham in the FA Cup. And of course, we saw a 2nd round defeat to Watford in the Carabao Cup. Bit disappointing, but we're still, you know, well clear of the drop zone. Starting to become a, you know, a typical mid-table Premier League team. So I'm happy with that. I am very, very happy with how things have gone during these 5 seasons. Let's just take a look at the players. This time around, Mitrovic once again top scorer with 16, aged 31 years old. 12 for Paulinho as well. Assist-wise, Paulinho was top with 8. So 20 goal contributions for him, and Mitrovic as well with 4 assists there. Yeah, it's been a good challenge. After the start we had, the worst ever Premier League season, I think we've done well. I do think we've done well. So, yeah, I guess we now go over to Marco Silva and see what he can do in charge of Fulham. So, Silva's had his 5 years at Fulham. Let's take a look at how he's done, shall we? Well, we saw there they are in the Championship. I believe the tactic of keeping a manager in place has worked. I'd be surprised if Silva had kept his job. Obviously, they went down in the first year and never actually went back up. Okay, so yeah, I imagine he would have been sacked had that been the case. First season in the Premier League, they finished 19th place. They did better than me. I'll give them that. 29 goals scored, 26 points, finished 3 points away from safety. But yeah, just never managed to get back up. You saw that they lost in the playoff final this season. Missed out on the playoffs in their first season down there. Made it to the playoffs in their second season, where they lost to Sheffield United in the semi-finals. Third place in the third season there, fourth season overall. 4 points off automatic promotion, and they also lost in the playoff final, then losing to Norwich, and obviously they lost to Watford this time, also in third place, 2 points behind Sunderland. So Fulham end up in the Championship for majority of this, minus that first season. The question is, did they win any competitions? They did not win the EFL Cup first season because they lost to Bournemouth. FA Cup, they went out to Middlesbrough. Okay. Third round again to Watford there, and fourth round to Arsenal in the FA Cup. EFL Cup first round to Ipswich. Third round to Southampton. So I believe that we have won this challenge as well. Quarterfinals of the EFL Cup is a very good run there. Very, very good run. But they did not win a trophy. And we finished higher. We spent more time in the Premier League. We've had the overall highest league position. So that does give us the win over Marco Silva. But he did put up a decent effort. It's a shame they went down and could not get back up again. Let's just take a look at some of their transfers, shall we? Joe Bryan and Tim Ream left on permanence the first season, as did Marlon Fossey. They signed Anderson Oliveira from Portimonense for £650,000. Matthias Jorgensen, Ahmed Mohammadi, Kalon Hazeman, and Timothy Kolizak. Yep. All came in on free transfers. Second season, the first one down in the Championship, and they lost a lot of big players where we managed to keep hold of them. Pelini went to Juventus for £26 million. Adrabayo went to Dortmund, just short of 14 million. Cavallero, Kearney, Robertson, Gazzaniga all leaving. Replacement-wise, they also brought in Liam Cooper. That is interesting to see. They went for the same person as me there. Peter, Favelli, Darlow, Itakura, Rahman. Interesting signings. The second season. Third season, if we just keep sorting by value. Rodak left, Kadiva Reed left, Itakura left as well, they only signed the season before. Tyler Roberts. Yeah, not real massive names leaving that season. Miguel Almiron joining, that was an interesting one. Not really who I expected them to sign. In fact, a couple of these names are pretty decent in here. You've got Horvath in there, Tyler Roberts, Schlupp, Longstaff, Mateta in on loan as well. Some pretty decent names coming in. Stefan Ortega coming in the season after as well. That is not... I didn't think so. There was a former player who played for my local team, Chesterfield, called Joe Rowley. He got released on a free last season. I saw the name and I was like, somehow he ended up at Manchester United. No, it's not him. It's a new gen. Okay. That would have been the most bizarre transfer I've ever seen in Football Manager. Had that been the case, Liam Cooper leaving to Celtic the season before last. Steven Sessegnon also going as well. Tom McIntyre, the major signing this time around. Chiquino from Wolves. Troy Parrott. They've been bringing in some decent players. They just obviously haven't been getting the results that they needed to get themselves back in the Premier League. So yeah, unlucky for Marco Silva, but that does give us the victory. So that does make it 5-2 now, having lost to Scott Parker and Jesse Marsh in ones that we were sacked in. We will revisit them two teams at the end. Don't forget, with the tricks we've learned to keep all the managers in place. We beat Ten Hag, Potter, Lampard, Rodgers, and now Marco Silva for 5-2. And one thing that has been requested is we do the wheel spin at the end of the episode, ready for next time out, because he did make some very valid points that sort of redundant doing the spin at the start, because you're going to know via the thumbnail and the title who we're facing. Obviously, I won't know, but we're going to do it now and find out who our next team will be in next week's episode. It's going to be Aston Villa, so we're taking on Steven Gerrard and Aston Villa, who've had a poor start to the season in real life. Can we beat Gerrard? We'll find out next Wednesday. If you enjoyed this, please do like, subscribe to the channel, all of that good stuff. Come back next Wednesday to find out if we can beat Steven Gerrard, and I will see you then. Bye bye.